Hey, it's still Alan. Sorry, but today's gonna be a long one, kids. I'm getting really worn out on trying to save the government 15 seconds at a time. Today I want to talk to you, Democratic Party leaders. From now on, I want you to stop trying to make sure everyone knows how smart you are. Not only do people not give a shit, but people are also really tired of being talked at instead of listened to. You know why DJT and the boys, and I say the boys because you know there are no women in there, are kicking the shit out of you every time you turn around? It's because you're smarter than he is. You're smarter than he is, and you're so sure of it, you spend more of your time telling everyone who will listen than you do actually listening to what the voters are saying, and then simply doing that. Then, while you're ignoring the things people are just flatly telling you they want, you spend what's left of your time focusing on more individual and largely personal DEI issues, so much so that you're missing out on the bigger picture of WEEI. And I know that's a silly way to say it, but we want to be included in living wages, and we want to be included in affordable health care, and we want to be included in affordable housing. But instead, you keep talking about transgenic mice, as if a well-reasoned argument about it matters to somebody that's spending 70% of their take-home pay on their rent or their mortgage. Like, why isn't anyone asking why the Dems don't have the same multicultural base as Trump does, in spite of how distasteful most people, even the ones that voted for him, find him to be? Could it be that he spends more of his time actually talking about issues that matter to everyone, even if he's not really going to fix any of them, than the Dems do? And let me explain that a little bit. When we take an honest look at at Kamala Harris's campaign, and I voted for her, and all the reasons that she lost, why do we keep trying to convince everyone it's because she's black or because she's a woman? Now, am I saying some people didn't vote for her for that reason? Of course not. Like, assholes exist, and I'm not trying to convince you that they don't. But it just seems like it's a way to avoid taking responsibility, doesn't it? The real reason she lost, in my opinion, and ultimately why Trump won again, is because Democrats were gifted a list of this is what we want. So much so that a whopping 70% of voters on both sides of the aisle said it was what they wanted. And they even gave them wildly popular first steps, laid them at their feet. End political corruption, make giant businesses pay their fair share, make health care affordable, make housing affordable. And let me get back to a good paying job so I can take care of my family. But what actually happened? In 2020, Kamala and Biden had the same trifecta of power on day one as Trump today. They held the House, they held the Senate, and they held the executive branch. Did they ram through Medicare for all? No. Did they make serious efforts at judicial reform? No. Did they do anything to get private billionaire money out of public politics? No, because it elects them too. Did they take any action against the Supreme Court when they admitted on live TV they've been taking millions of dollars in gifts? It obviously breaks their sense of objectivity. No, they did not. Affordable housing? No. Did they end modern day slavery in the form of private prisons? No. Did they change the way giant corporations avoid paying most, if not all, of their federal income taxes? No. Did they codify Roe to the law of the land? No. Did they end stock buyback programs? No. Did they do anything that meaningfully improves the quality or the affordability of the life of the average American? Absolutely fucking not. Now tell me again why Kamala didn't win because she's black or because she's a woman. Why was everyone so surprised by the fact that college-educated white women and both black and Latino men not only voted for Trump, but they moved away from Kamala and the entire Democratic Party at large? Listen to me just for a second. I need you to stop using marginalized communities as props and slogans for the platform. Stop talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion as if it's some monster like that lives in the hillside, and start listening to the actual people, especially those that are the base most impacted by these inclusive policies. You've got a diverse group of people who can't afford to fucking live here anymore in spite of once in a century record profits. And I don't know about you, but I've never worked so hard to have so little, and I'm sick of it. We're all sick of it. And you know what's the lowest of the low-hanging fruit that requires the least effort to net the greatest gains? It's fucking money. People are more unified behind the obvious corruption that's happening in broad daylight than they've ever been, and they're flatly telling us how to get their votes. So either show us a plan, or let me give you one, for enacting comprehensive corruption reform on day one. And then tell us how things are going to be different and how they're going to change when Big Pharma can't buy a Supreme Court justice that stops us from negotiating the price of pills. Show us how the health insurance lobby will no longer exist And we'll be able to save trillions of taxpayer dollars over the coming decades by simply implementing Medicare for all, a system that not only starts making America healthy again, but it stops us from financial ruin when we can least afford it. Hey, you want to protest? Me too. So let's protest on actionable demands instead of sitting on the lawns of politicians who took the day off and they're counting on a fractured political system that lets them keep taking bribes. God damn it. I'm sick of it. Why aren't you?